Gerard. Good afternoon.
Hi, Sean. How are
Hi.
you?
Audio check lang daw. Parang okay naman.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, I can hear you.
The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Inflation cooled in March with slower increases in the food and transport indices driving the downward trend. Fresh data from the Philippine Statistics Authority shows headline inflation in the country settling at 7.6% last month. That's lower than the 8.6% logged in February and 8.7% in January. The latest figure brings the country's year-to-date inflation to 8.3%. The March figure is also within the Bangko Central's forecast range of 7.4 to 8.2% this month or last month, but it is still way beyond the BSP's target range of 2 to 4%. The slower inflation was mainly driven by the food and non-alcoholic beverage group, which posted a lower increase rate of 9.3% from the 10.8% in February. This is followed by transportation costs, which have eased to 5.3% from 9%. Meanwhile, core inflation climbed to 8% in March from 7.8% in February. At this point, let's head on over to the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, or PTEX. Our Gerard de la Peña is keeping us posted on the latest situation over there. Hi, Gerard. Give us an update from your end.
Well, Sean, many passengers are now rushing here at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, as today is the last working day before the long Holy Week break. But while daily passenger volume is not as much as compared to the previous years, many trips are already fully booked. In fact, Sean, the boarding gate allotted for trips going to the Bicol region is already crowded as early as 8 a.m. The PTEX management expects daily volume here to reach 130 to 160,000 today, the peak for the Lenten season. This, however, is lower than the peak last Christmas season, where passenger count reached 200,000 in just a single day. Bus operators said that the holiday is quite long this year. That's why passengers' trips have been spread out all throughout the week. Another reason for the relatively thin volume of passengers is the fact that many passengers opted to go abroad as part of what authorities referred to as revenge travel. Despite this, aircon bus tickets, especially those bound for the Bicol region, are already sold out. Tickets for ordinary buses are still available for walk-in passengers. The PTEX management assured the public that there are enough buses to ferry passengers all throughout the long holiday. Sean, the PTEX management reminds the public that while the terminal is on a business-as-usual mode during this Lenten season, many bus operators may have a limited operations during this Lenten season. That's why those who are planning to go on trips are advised to first look at the terminal's Facebook page for trip schedules. Sean.
All right, pretty good advice. Thank you so much for that update, Gerard de la Peña, reporting to us live from the PTEX in Parañaque. More stories still to come after this quick break. Stay with us here on One News.
Local tourism office reports between 5,000 and 6,000 tourist arrivals. 6,000 arrivals.
Hi, Mon! Good afternoon!
Hi, Sean.
Hi! Kamusta?
Hello, hello.
Hello! Okay, malinaw?
Yap. Sayang nawala ng signal.
Oo nga eh. Laging may problema yata kami. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Boracay remains a top tourist destination for the Holy Week. Let's see if the island is already teeming with visitors. We have Marian Enriquez joining us live from Boracay. Maan, what's going on in Bora?
Yes, Sean, it's getting crowded here by the day. The local tourism office reports that between 5,000 to 6,000 tourist arrivals daily are coming in since the start of April, and the officials are hoping that this number will increase in the coming weeks. As we speak, some hotels are already fully booked until Easter Sunday. Business owners here are praying that this trend will keep and that more tourists will continue trooping to Boracay after the Lenten season and make the island their top summer destination. Even foreign visitors are choosing the white sand and pristine waters of Boracay over other beaches. We've spotted many Koreans on the island, their travel made easier as direct flights from Incheon to Kalibo Airport are now available. Tourists are also pleased with the more relaxed protocols this year. Only proof of hotel bookings and ID are required to be presented at the arrival section of the port. Recall that last year, vaccination cards are required and those with comorbidities are prohibited to travel to the island. The LGU has also reactivated its Semana Santa task force for more police visibility and security of the island. Sean, the Tourism Office of Malay advises the public to book only with accredited hotels and tour guides to avoid being or getting scammed. And during this Holy Week, there will be processions on Good Friday and Black Saturday in the island. And during this period, parties and activities with loud music are prohibited, especially or particularly on Good Friday. Back to you, Sean.
All right, thank you so much for that update from Boracay Island. That was Marian Enriquez. Thanks, Maan. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. FIVOC said that there's no damage or casualties from the magnitude 6.2 earthquake that struck the waters of Gigmoto in Catanduanes last night. Local disaster risk reduction units are on standby if there are residents that do need to be evacuated. FIVOC has also lifted the tsunami warning that was raised right after the powerful tremor. Senator Raffy Tulfo wants the upper chamber to launch an inquiry into the condition of the National Center for Mental Health. Tulfo earlier led an inspection of the NCMH after receiving multiple complaints about the supposed unsanitary conditions in the center. The health department has promised to cooperate in the investigation. And former U.S. President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 felony counts. Trump appeared before a Manhattan court in New York, where he is facing a string of charges for allegedly faking business records. The supposed anomaly was discovered upon investigation into documents showing payoffs to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Trump is also being accused of violating election laws during his 2016 presidential campaign. And Batangas Port is now seeing a huge number of passengers on this Holy Wednesday. Let's get an update from Mon Gualvez, who's reporting to us live from on the ground. Mon, hi! How is the crowd over at the Batangas Port right now?
Sean, passengers are now jam-packed here in Batangas Port a day before the long holiday for the Holy Week. However, hundreds of passengers were offloaded this morning due to a defective ship. A passenger vessel that was supposed to go to Calafar in Oriental Mindoro encountered an engine or technical error this morning. 300 passengers who had already waited for hours to get on board were affected. While the passengers got a full refund, they were still upset since they had to fall back in line to book another trip. The shipping line apologized for the trouble and said they tried to accommodate the offloaded travelers into other trips. But it was such a tough task with so many people also trying to catch a motor ride here at the Batangas Port. In fact, just before arriving, you'll be met by long lines of vehicles and trucks arriving here to board the Ro-Ro vessel. Meantime, due to the huge number of passengers, some experienced dizziness. The Philippine Ports Authority or PPA admits there's a lot of sea vessels since Typhoon Odette wreaked havoc on ports back in year 2021. The PPA reiterated its call to the Maritime Industry Authority or Marina to come up with a mechanism to at least solve the ticketing and ship supply issues with demand increasing, especially during peak seasons like Holy Week. The Batangas Port, Sean, will be open 24 hours, even on Good Friday, to process and assist those who are just coming here and will be spending the remaining days of the Holy Week in their respective provinces. Sean?
Thank you so much for that update. That was Mon Gualvez on the line from the Batangas Port. One News Now will be back at 5:30 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.